an important ceremony for women?
Sure. So, lawn dance started back in 1990, and it got birthed out of the harmonic convergence.
Mm-hmm.
I attended a long dance there, and at the time, I really had this calling to create a woman's ceremony, a place where a woman could come and be spiritually expressed and express her voice and express her prayer, put her prayer out there for her life, for the earth, mother, for whatever her deep concerns is, to get into a main arbor, which is the place where the dance takes place. It's called long dance, but its truth meaning is long prayer.
Mm-hmm.
And so when a woman enters the main arbor, the main ceremonial space, they get out there and walk in a circle. And as they walk, they go deep within themselves, and there's a process in long dance called widdershins, or walking counterclockwise or earthwise, and just release. Just get out there and release and do some deep work. And then when she's ready and she's done her release, then she walks clockwise and she starts speaking her prayer, what she wants in her life, her gratitude, all these things. So it's a beautiful, beautiful process for women, and we do it from sunset to sunrise.
Yes, it's a big deal, and it's important. So tell me a little bit about why it's an all-night process.
Well, the night, when we do work in the night, it's a beautiful place to go and allow ourselves to go deep within. It's like the concept of redreaming one's life.
Mm-hmm.
And so tonight we do a conscious redreaming of our lives.
Yeah.
And move ourselves into a different place. We are changing woman. And so it's a beautiful, sacred, safe place to do that change. And the night facilitates that change, so that when the sun rises, it's a new day, it's a new place in our life.
So the women actually stay up all night long and do their dance, but we have so much support for them, and what was created, it's an authentic pardon me. It's go ahead and say what I'm trying to say. It's an authentic Indian village or native. Gosh, I got a frog in my throat.
It is based on the circle, and it's a native-based ceremony. Absolutely that. And in this circle and around this circle, we have the stages of life. We have lodges that represent the stages of life, and the other aspects, living aspects of the ceremony around the circle. We have in the east, we have the sweat lodge, the place where we purify our spirit, wash our spirit clean. And in the south, we have the drum lodge, the place of the heartbeat, the mother's heartbeat. And in the in-between place of drum lodge and in the in-between directions, we have a wellness lodge, and that's a place where if a woman needs assistance through the night, there's a group of renowned amazing healers there that can provide assistance to her if she has a leg cramp or a headache or whatever. And then we go to the Mother Lodge, and that or the Moon Lodge, rather, the Moon Lodge in the west. And the Moon Lodge is also a place of change and initiation for a girl when she moves from the girl or child lodge into a woman lodge. So the Moon Lodge is an educational space, a space of storytelling, the place of honoring the deep change that is our Moon Lodge, our ministration lodge. And so we move into that place and we educate ourselves of the power of that particular juncture in our life. And then we move to Mother Lodge. And there we not only carry the Earth Mother and all the aspects of Earth Mother, but also who we are as mothers and daughters.
100 women come. In all the years I've gone, there have been over 100 women from all over the country and sometimes outside of the country, which is pretty remarkable to me. But I want to go back for a minute to the Moon Lodge and the Mother Lodge. And there's something that I noticed happening when I first was introduced to a different way of looking at a woman's moon time, and that is that the perspective of how a woman is treated, the rite of passage that a young girl goes through, and the honoring that comes is not just, it's in the Native American culture, it's in the pagan culture, and they honor the woman. It's like a celebration that this is happening. Now you can create life, and with it carries a responsibility and an honoring and a respect for the knowledge and the intuition that will come to you as a result of your hormones changing. And the first ceremony I was at, it was for a young girl. I was living up in the Sierras, and what I noticed is the honoring of her was a beautiful ceremony, but the women that were 50 and 60 years old, that were mothers or grandmothers of attendees, they were invited. It was like the loss that occurred for women who've never had the experience of being honored for being a woman.
Yeah.
And that's something that long dance gives us, is that honoring, the beauty way, and especially the way that we treat each other with respect, and the grandmothers, the respect that's given to the stories they tell, and just the fact that the grandmothers are there. The honoring, you said that they're very pampered and taken care of, and is so true. And so as a European woman that, I was raised in the church, that was very patriarchal. And even though my mother was respected and I always thought held on a pedestal, I had 5 older brothers, and I wasn't on a pedestal at all. But I was a tomboy, and so the parts of me that were entering my womanhood were hidden, and they were not, it was this awfulness around it. And wow, were my eyes opened when I came into the long dance ceremony and way of being that really showed me that there's so much more to being a woman. It woke me up in a way that I never expected. And I think a lot of women have experiences that are transformational, and when you were talking about walking in and releasing habits or beliefs that are no longer useful to you, and then you switch directions and you pray on the things that you would like to bring into your life, to manifest in your life. That's powerful, and it changes women's lives. They come back the next year and they're like, wow, you wouldn't believe what happened. And it's so true.
Yep.
And so I also want to point out that each of the lodges supports each step of the way, that whatever may come forward for you in your night, that there's a lodge that you can sit in and pray in and sometimes cry in and get support, or listening and honoring, and just to be listened to be witnessed is so powerful. And so this is a ceremony that's so important for women, especially right now, as we're rising up. We're trying to balance the masculine and feminine in ourselves. And so there's a reason for this call. And it's to talk about long dance, but also we're needing a place to have this now. So we're needing the land. And you might want to talk about this in a minute, or to complete.
Yeah, we can. But if I can refer back to the Moon Lodge.
Yeah.
And so, what in indigenous culture and in what we know that the human being has initiatory places in our lives. For the woman, it's that first moon blood, that first drop. And for the young girl, she is now spoke to and initiated and honored in her life to the potential of who she is as a mother, as a giver of life, a life giver.
Mm-hmm.
So when we honor our children, for a boy, they have their rite of passage to their men lodge. And so when we support ourselves in through the stages of our lives, like this microcosmic ceremony that we have on this planet, we support that individual. And when we do that throughout our lives, for a woman, it's the Moon Lodge, it's the Mother Lodge, that's about a 9-month ceremony there. And then when we go into moon pause, that means, or metapause, then on the 14th moon of no blood, then we walk into the Grandmother Lodge. And so that's an honoring.
Yes.
So when we do that through the stages of our lives, and we can come back into that balance, these children that get in trouble and that they're not tethered to knowing where they are in their life, that changes into a really solid, balanced human being. A human being with the knowledge that they're being supported through their life passages. So important for the health of a human being. And a lot of women do acquire this initiation in their Moon Lodge when they're there at 42 or 52 or 62.
Right.
Because they have that in their life.
Right.
And so, yes, there's this metamorphosis of, through the initiation, through the honoring of this young woman walking into her Moon Lodge, we can own that for ourselves.
It's beautiful. It really is amazing.
So you can go back. Yes, you can initiate at 52 into your Moon Lodge. Yeah, you can do that. It didn't happen at the time, but it doesn't have to be a loss either. You can reacquire these initiations as you go along.
And that's a beautiful thing about ceremony and celebrating something that is ages old, that it works, and there's a purpose for it, and it works, and it's the individuals' time and effort, their care of themselves, they're learning who they are and how to care for and respect and love themselves, that puts them in that place of receiving the gifts that come from ceremony. And the different lodges, different things come up. In the sweat lodge, there's prayer rounds, and you're with a bunch of other women, and different things come up in the darkness of the sweat lodge. And the drum lodge, each stage you can take yourself through a journey in every lodge there is, if you care to, or if you just want to experience what each one feels like. In the Mother's Lodge with our ancestors, we call in our matriarchal line, and we honor the grandmothers of our mothers. And that's really important. And I was so impressed because I only know 2 generations back on my mother's side. And so there's so many women that can go back 5, 6 generations of grandmothers because of how they keep the information. And then the children can take it forward, and that there's so much security in knowing where you came from. And so it's building on that, and it's building on self-respect and
the importance of acknowledging our ancestral.
Yes, absolutely.
We acknowledge our lineage, our ancestors. We bring them with us, and we are the embodiment of our ancestral lineage. And even though perhaps we don't have the fondest of memory of being raised in the most balanced of families, back in our lineage there was wellness, there was strength, there were gifts.
Yes.
And when we're out there and in this different dimensional reality, which becomes the arbor to the long dance, it's a different reality, it's a different world in there. We have the veils are very thin, so we have an opportunity to link into that lineage, matrilineal line, and recover and renew ourselves with the wisdom that follow our bloodline. Because back generations somewhere, there's an individual that really, really did give us strength and knowledge and helped us out in our world, So, it's so important to celebrate our matrilineal line. All the way back to the Earth Mother.
Yes, I want to share a vision I had really quickly, that I was doing some work on my mother's depression when I was a baby, and had this visual come forward of, oh my gosh, so many generations on my mother's side coming through this valley, and about 7 grandmothers back. One of them, in my mind's eye, I'm seeing this, she steps out and she goes, "So, you finally got it." And I'd been in tears, and now I'm laughing, and it's like, yes, it's like, there was so much oppression, and my matriarchal line throughout the years, that breaking free of it is changing the paradigm. And so any work that you do on this metaphysical spiritual level is not only affecting you, it is affecting your whole lineage forwards and backwards in time, as you get a shift in yourself and your confidence and your self-respect. It shifts. It's just phenomenal how it works, because space and time, and we're all one. We are all connected through every space and dimension, and so long dance is a place to safely do it, because we have all the safeguards and care, tending to the women with the Wellness Lodge and just noticing, if somebody's having a particularly hard time, that there's so much care that is part of this. And the food we eat and everything to sustain us, and drinking lots of water and all these things that are so important, that it's just so amazingly orchestrated.
It is. It's a wonderful communion.
Yeah.
We have a balancer, It's not just women in the ceremony.
Right.
We have the balance of the Thunder Lodge or the Brother Lodge that attend our ceremony. There's a beautiful group of brothers that come in. They're safe brothers. They are in the full knowledge that we are there we are coming as a healing lodge, a reconnection ceremony, and that we are healing from the wounds of the predominant patriarchal scheme that's going on this planet. And, so they know that the women come with their wounds, and that they walk very gently and respectfully around women. And this Brother Lodge is just amazing, and they carry the balance. But while they're there, they're also looking at the balance of the feminine within themselves.
Yeah.
And, so we have a balanced energy in this ceremony. It's not just women. There are men there carrying the balance as well.
Well, and they also make sure that no one interrupts or tries to come into our site at night. So they stand watch.
They're requiring their protection, their protector lodge.
Mm-hmm.
When we were captured as indigenous people, they were no longer the hunters and the warriors of protection. And this kind of renews that place in the brothers, that they can come there and make sure that the women are allowed their ceremonies and not disturbed during their ceremonies. So it's an old ancient way to reconnect with Earth Mother, reconnect with ourselves, with our warrior spirits. We do not allow children in the ceremony, because it is a time for us to get on our warrior selves, our Artemis, our warrior self, and to do the deep work and the deep scrub. So if there was a child in this ceremony and that child yelled out, "Mama," every mother would break her process, turn around, and pay attention to that child. That's just the nature of who we are.
That's so true.
And so it's kind of a dangerous environment for a child, because they so want to help. And they so are sensitive and like that. So we don't allow children in this ceremony. Only women that their moon has dropped. And we have generational attendance.
Yes.
We have mothers and mothers. And then when their girls' moons drop, they get to attend.
Yeah.
So we had as many as 4 generations in the ceremony.
That's really amazing.
Really beautiful the way it all works. It's, again, a microcosm of this place where we can be wholly sacred 24 hours a day for the 3-day, 4-day event that we pull off. And, and then, we set up enrichments, and, we bring in elders that will speak to wisdoms that need to be passed down to all. And it's a powerful ceremony. It's not a light ceremony. It's a strong, powerful ceremony.
Yes, it is.
It's not a festival. It's a ceremony of deep plunge into a higher vibratory environment, where we can get there and do our process and come out of it light and connected and balanced, and create a good, strong movement in our life.
Yes, and it's also drug and alcohol free, so you don't need
yeah.
anything. So I need to.
And also, too, I call it the annual love bomb to the planet.
Yeah. Well, yes.
Because we get there and we love on our Mother Earth, and we love on our humanity, our human family, and we can help paradigm shift or assist in our awakening process planetarily. I believe that this ceremony celebrates and is connected to the Western Gate of this turtle island here in the Central Coast where the Shumish carry that. And so we get out there and we pray hard and we work hard to relieve our griefs and our angers and our processes that hold us back, and we come into love. And, love's going to heal it, love's going to change it, love's going to restore it, love's the potion.
Yes.
The cure.
Love's
to
the
not
answer.
only us personally, but for us globally as a human family.
Yes. So I'm noticing the time. I've got to make an announcement, and then we'll come back, and I would like to hear how to contact you, how to find out more about Long Dance, and what our current need is. And so first off, I'm going to mention to folks up in North County that there is a place you can learn to knit. And it is a monthly fund for beginners at the library. Let's see, the library is partnered up with a fiber arts expert, Tamara Nichols from Ball and Skein and More, located in Cambria, to provide basic instruction in knitting. So August 3rd is your next opportunity between 2 and 4 o'clock for beginning knitters. And what they say is many of those who have attended these classes have been surprised how easy it is to learn this craft. So you can contact Karen Christensen. She's the Adult Services Librarian at 805-237-3870. And her email is kchristensen, it's S-E-N, at prcity.com. And then we stay tuned because we will have Lisa coming up next with Good Dogma. And I want to, so there's a need that has presented itself this year that is really important. We have to find the place to have this ceremony. And so anybody who is listening anywhere, if we need how many acres, how much land in a place where we can drum all night long that will accommodate over 100 women and the cars that come in. And so, Hua, can you tell more about what the perfect place would be and how we can connect with the person who owns it?
Sure. We're looking for a home that we can produce the ceremony and put it out there on the planet. And primarily, it's not about the amount of acres, it's about the privacy. We need privacy.
Okay.
We put out mother drums. We're up all night drumming on the Saturday night of our event, which we hold every year at the autumn equinox.
And what year would this be?
And this would be our 29th year.
29 years this has been happening.
And so what we need is earth, good flat piece of earth, no more than, say, 5 acres. And we need privacy in that so that we don't disturb the neighbors with our drumming, and water.
Okay.
Need water.
So privacy, so we don't disturb neighbors because we literally drum all night long. 4 mother drums. It's your heartbeat. It's the mother's heartbeat. It's such a big part of it, of the journey process, and water. So, search your memory for anybody you know that may have what we're looking for. And so, Hua, how would they contact you?
Right. So there's a couple of ways. You can contact me personally at my email address, which is rosa2hua@aol.com.
Okay, that's Rosa to Hua.
The number 2,
Mm-hmm.
HUA@aol.com.
Okay.
And call me at 805-481-0892.
Okay, I want you.
805-481-0892.
Okay.
And those are the two best ways to get a hold of me. If you are a landowner or have an acquaintance that would be willing to hold deep prayer on their land here on the Central Coast, we need flat land, we need good earth and good water and shade.
Shade's good.
Yeah, we need shade to get out of the direct sun when we need to. And privacy. And so really hoping to find a new home for long dance. And who wouldn't want deep prayer to take place on their land? Yeah?
Yes, it heals the land. It helps. I mean, it changes the energy of what's going on and blesses your land. I mean, many people have their minister come and bless their home, or the monks, and so having 100 plus women blessing your land, wow, I'm sure it would prosper. It seems like a really big deal. So
Yeah.
There's also a website that longdance.org is one, and then Circles of Empowerment.
Our main website is circlesofempowerment.org. And there you can go there and explore who we are, what we do, the other ceremonial events that we have, the sweat lodge and the full moon circle. And you can also check out our organization and check out Long Dance on the site. Oh, and if you want to check me out, you can go to my personal website, which is huaanwa.com, and that's HUAANWA.com. So yeah, we're quite transparent on who we are. We walk with the highest integrity we can muster, and and we make agreements on our word, on a handshake.
Absolutely.
We make our agreements through the heart.
Yes.
So that process would look like you would call and say, "Hey, come check us out," and I would go there and do a scout, and then we lay a prayer on the land to see if the land is open and willing to have us. So there's a couple of processes involved, and we are looking for a new home.
Okay, well, we are putting the word out there, and I'm really happy that this call worked so that I could share this information with everyone, because I really believe that it's such an important process, and it's such an important gift that we have right here on the Central Coast, that everybody, if you haven't ever been, you should go and check it out at least once and see if it's for you, because it's a beautiful woman's ceremony that is unlike anything you've probably been in before. And so I thank you so much for being on the air. Our time is just almost gone. So Lisa's here ready to take over the mic Facebook is there. They can look you up on Facebook as well, right?
Yeah.
So
Circles of Empowerment.
Okay, so Circles of Empowerment on Facebook. Check that out. You can get the link. You can get on the newsletter list and find out what goes on every month and get involved. You will really be glad you do.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Hua.
For having us on.
Oh, my pleasure. Many, many blessings, sweetheart.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye. Bye.